So, Maje,
Hi.
hi, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Ryan.
Oh, it's a real pleasure to have you here. We're at the Funding the Commons recording station,
Yes.
where we're talking to everyone in the community about their stories and how they got here, why they're here, and what really motivates them to be a part of these communities and these events.
Beautiful.
You are a part of the Funding the Commons team,
I am.
and can you tell me a little bit about your background?
Definitely.
Where did you come from?
Yes. So I don't come from a technical background. And from my point of view, it's very important to say out loud there are so many possibilities for women and people in LATAM, and especially for the community, the LGBTQ community that I am a part of as well. As all these common people having trouble in being able to be represented in especially places that can be a little bit scary, like technology, there is a place, there is a space, and there is a lot of community that can help you to become a part of blockchain in an overall experience. I used to work for luxury. I used to work for skincare. And basically, everything that actually worth was how you look like. How do you express yourself? But basically, your worth was not in what you have inside, but more in how you actually look from the outside. And that was very discouraging. Even though for a long time I earned a lot of money, I realized that my physical body was gonna go, down at some point. And then what would I do if everything is a part of it? The thought of being a part of the transformation knew a new world where everyone has a fair representation and that can bring in something and shape the future and shape the present, even though you come from maybe a third world country, or maybe even if you're a woman, or even if you have a different preference whatsoever, either how you look or how sexually open you can be. That is what brought me into blockchain. The idea of maybe there is a space where what I have inside is what actually counts, and not how I look or how little I can get paid because I'm from a third world country.
This is really inspiring. It's really great to hear someone that's come into this community, into a blockchain community, which is an inherently technological thing, full of developers. And really, like you mentioned this, in the previous industry you were in, there's this, can we say, obsession with the physical
Totally.
and the visual?
Totally.
And here in these environments and these communities, it is very much the opposite, where you're online. People might not know who you are, where you come from, your gender, your sexual preference, or any kind of beliefs that you have. It's just your ideas and really what you hold true.
Exactly.
So you mentioned the intimidation of coming into a new community like this fear that you have. Like, how did you overcome that?
I think the first thing that you have to be, it's curious, because you have to put yourself out there and just try to be present at any conference, at any summit. But that's not enough. Like, what actually helped me stay was the help of other women saying, you know what, I'm new too. I have no idea what they're saying. I really don't understand half of what's being explained here, but you know what, don't worry, I'm here. Like, we're together. Talking to other people around the space and knowing that there are others like us that are non-technical, and it's okay if you're new. It's okay if you don't know anything. It's okay if you're just giving your first steps. There is a bunch of people that can be there for you, to support you and to say, there's this resource that is for free. You can learn here. Come to this community event. Join this DAO. So a couple of women were introduced to me at the very first event that I stepped foot in, and that was DevCon around 4 years ago. I found myself amongst a group of women who were like very hype into trying to become a part of this technology, even though we came from like many different backgrounds. So I think the most important thing is to know and recognize that you are never alone as long as you have the courage to put yourself out there and say, I'm here, I want to learn. So a little bit of humble part within you, but a lot of courage because you're still putting yourself into an awkward situation, right?
Yeah, yeah. It takes a lot of like self-acceptance in order to overcome this fear
Yes.
that is a totally human thing.
And say like, I'm here.
Yeah, yeah. I'm here, and this is who I am, and you find advocates.
Yeah,
in
this
the
is what I
community.
can bring. I don't know if you're looking for it, but this is what I can bring, and then people resonates with that honesty.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And people have all sorts of different things to bring.
Yes.
This is how we form a community, is all these different diverse offerings that individuals share
Totally.
and support each other with.
Totally. Now that I remember, I was just arriving on the airplane to Colombia, and I went to pick up the keys of the apartment that I was staying in. I was gonna stay in because we were sharing with a group of friends. And I went there. My friend was a volunteer, and I shouldn't say this, but she got me like a hacker tag because I was very hungry. It was like 12 already a.m. It was gonna be 1 a.m. and I was totally hungry. And she's like, "Do you want to eat?" I'm like, "Yeah." And so she gave me this, and I walk in, and I just see a friend, another woman, and she's like, "You have to help us. I'm hacking, and we need someone to create a pitch." And I'm like, "Dude, I don't even know what hacker is. Like, I don't know what a hackathon is. I don't understand anything. I can't help you." And she's like, "Of course you can. Don't worry." And then she brings me in, and then there's a woman who is like leading the project, and then another 3 more people, including my other friend. And then all of a sudden, I was hacking the very first day that I even knew what blockchain was.
Wow.
And even though I didn't understand anything, I could say, okay, basically, you're not solving any issue. I know that to win this, the whole thing is to create a solution of a problem, and you're creating something, but there's not a solution to anything. Like, the only thing that I can tell you is I don't think you're gonna win, because it's a great idea, but you're not solving anything that they need. And then all of a sudden they're like, okay, we're gonna go back to the original idea. And they had like 4 more hours to present it, or maybe like 4 to 6 hours. They spin the project and they won. And that was incredible to see. Okay, I wasn't a part of the team as a, how do you say?
Like
it
officially?
was, see.
Yeah.
But I felt very proud that I was able to bring in something that was valuable. And all of a sudden, I was a part of an incredible project with people that knew way much more about the technology than me. But I helped, right? So incredible that you can actually bring in something even though you're completely new at it. And that it inspired me.
Yeah, that's huge. That's really, really huge. Like going to this event for the first time and finding this sense of belonging.
See,
Where like you wouldn't expect to find it at all.
at all.
And you like your friends were fully supportive. These new friends that you just found
See.
were fully supportive, and then the developers that you were working with like listened to you.
Which was scary to say, right? Yeah, it was an incredible experience, honestly, and that helped me realize, okay, if I stick a little longer, maybe I can understand more, and the more I understand, maybe the more I can belong. There is support. You still gotta put in so much work, so much effort. But it was incredible, and I want to encourage everyone around there listening to just be brave and know that you're manifesting by just the thought of doing something. And before it manifests, you gotta take action. So yeah, I would give that advice. Just go to as many conferences as you can. Even
Join the community. Yeah.
join somehow. Join DAOs and ask questions, even though they might sound dumb to you. And here we are.
Here we are, and you're a key part of this team. You're a key part of the community. You're here. You're participating. That alone makes you an important part of these communities. And this was at Colombia, the DevCon. This was what, 5, 6 years ago?
I think it's 4,
4 years ago.
but it's still so long ago.
Yeah.
It passed
this
so fast.
industry moves fast for
Yes,
sure.
yes.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of talk about community. The Ethereum community talks a lot, like it's in the name. They have a conference that's the Ethereum Community Conference.
Yes.
Have you been?
I haven't been. This is most likely. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go yet. We're like very last minute planning, but most likely I'm gonna be there, and I'm very excited to hear like all about it. If I'm not going, another one of my partners is gonna go. However, I think I might. What I'm doing is definitely going to Argentina.
Oh, for the Dev Connect and the Cypherpunk Congress that Web3 Privacy Now is doing. Okay.
But this week we have tomorrow a very interesting event. So there's going to be like the Cardano and UNDP event happening tomorrow, and then the next day. Really looking forward to it because I've been in conversations with them. Fortunately, I met some incredible people. Milika from Blockchain for Good Alliance introduced me, and we had a space and their summit. And then I met a lot of people from the UNDP, and what an honor. Again, I feel so tiny next to these incredible people.
And yet supported by them.
Get supported by them. Yeah, and now they're around here, and then they're becoming speakers, and most likely, hopefully, being sponsors for our next events. And that is exciting to have public and private sector, academic, and just like all types of different people coming from so many areas to are funding the Commons events, even though we're in so many parts of the world.
Cool. This is all really cool. So, like funding the Commons events. Funding the Commons does events, right? Is that the main focus that you have in these communities now? Is organizing the community around these events, or tell me more about like what you enjoy doing within these communities now that you're here.
I guess what our main purpose is, we're still trying to reach it. Even though right now the form of as funding the Commons, what we are is more the creation and curation of events. But that's not the mission itself. It's more like how do we create a space where people can bring in their ideas and actually become a path for them to operate and become something tangible. So right now we have this intersection of incredible people, and the events take form in different ways as summits, conferences, forums like this one, residencies, hackathons. And in all these different forms, what we're trying to do is to create new economical models for funding public goods. But the whole thing about this is how do actually we shift into becoming an incubator for all these incredible projects and people, so that it doesn't just stays in the first steps, but it actually becomes a part of it. And I think that's what excites me the most. I think that the community itself is the most powerful. It doesn't matter which community, but fortunately, this community that is looking for benefiting everyone, how do we create a better world? It's a very strong one. It's a very supported one, and it gives the heart warmth to know that me coming from a very political or capitalistic world, there is all these people that are actually trying to do good for each other, and not only just earn and bleed each other, right, for their own.
Yeah.
That this is very, like, it warms my heart. It's what inspires most, to become a part of these kind of people, these type of communities.
And events that really focus on the community,
See.
rather than like industry events, trade shows, this sort of thing that happens in other industries. Have you been to many in your previous field? Did you go to many events? Were you a part of the event scene in that industry, or?
Not really.
Not really.
I was more of the part of the strategy of like the sales and marketing team and the management of the operations of the stores and whatsoever. But as funding the commons is like human first, right?
Yeah.
Community first.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It
Yeah.
really is. Yeah.
It's not product 1st. It's like community first, so that the product actually functions. That's great.
Yeah, yeah, it's really great. And the thing that actually like brought you into this blockchain industry that really made you feel welcome, that being the community, and now you're working to grow that. It's a very selfless goal, but you seem to get so much out of it.
I do. It's like I'm actually like talking to the founders of the most incredible projects, and I really can't even believe it. All of a sudden, try to bring in more people to the space. It's allowing me to know the biggest minds of the space as well. So it's very fulfilling. But my goal is that. My goal is how do we really like close that gap between the people, especially like the women, and the technology that seems so scary. Inviting them somehow to become a part of it, however they can.
And bringing in people who aren't necessarily technologists, who aren't developers. What are like this industry has a real big focus on code and software engineering and development, and there's like you mentioned the founders of these projects, they sort of get elevated to this celebrity status, but then we still have access to them
Yes.
as noobs, so to speak.
Yes.
So what kinds of, like, when you think about non-dev types, let's say, that are often referred to as like muggles or something, right? What sorts of interest groups, or what sorts of interests are you most interested in finding in people, like outside of the developer and tech interest? Like there's like what, design and community organizing, and what kinds of other real focus do we need as a community in order to grow and to bring more people in?
Some people are gonna hang me for this, but I think, it's completely necessary. Marketing, publicity, is like the normies bring in all the questions and the lingo that is needed for people's adoption to the technology. I think by listening to them, by bringing in people that actually come from any other that is not a tech background, helps us understand what we're lacking, like what's missing, why people don't understand what we're saying, like what's this incredible tool gonna do in their lives if we don't go down and meet them where they are. So I think the most important part is that, because otherwise no one's gonna actually use any of this technology. And if we're talking about mass adoption, which is like Ethereum's always going like, who's gonna bring the next billion users? Well, first of all, we need to make things simple, and that means let's describe what we're doing on the most clear and easy way as possible. And that's what marketing does. That's what it pretends to do. And if nobody knows what we're doing, meaning publicity, then who's going to support it if we don't even know that it exists? So I feel like there's a lot of people that are already understanding that this is important, especially talking about the UX and UI area of everything that the developers are actually creating. Now they're understanding, okay, maybe I do need some help with the way that it's actually made. Does people understand what I'm creating? No? Okay, then we need to fix that.
Yeah, absolutely. And people, I know a lot of developers who get into their idea and they're like, why doesn't anyone understand this?
Yes.
And it's what you're talking about, this bringing in alternative perspectives, different points of view, and people who that don't understand it. Those are actually the people who will be able to explain it best to others who don't get it.
Yes.
And this is vital.
Yes.
Right? That's
yes.
essentially what you're
that's
saying.
where I'm, yeah, that's what I'm trying to get.
Super cool. I totally agree with you. I mean, I've been in this space for a really long time, and I see the problem that you're talking about. And it's really great to see someone coming into into the space with now 4 years being here, and
Apparently.
still holding on to that passion of like what can you tell me more about the feeling that you had when you first started? Like what happened after DevCon?
I guess I was feeling very overwhelmed, and I felt like I was welcomed, but I didn't have a sense of belonging, just because I didn't know how was I going to bring all the expertise that I had when there was not a sales like position available. And all of a sudden I realized that they don't call it like sales representative, it's more like biz dev. But then all of a sudden you can't just jump in and say like, hey, I'm going to sell your product, because you need to have this specific knowledge, deep knowledge into the technology. So I was left with so many questions and so many doubts about, is this transition going to actually be possible for me? Am I really going to be able to get there? And my journey was very slow, because basically what I did was just jump into every conference that I was able to. So I went to so many countries, and the truth is, unfortunately, this is not like something that is actually a possibility for a lot of people.
Right.
I understand how privileged I am in that sense. However, for whoever can do that, I would actually encourage me being present in as many conferences as I could. Gave me little by little the understanding of how this works, what the technology is, how is it made, and bootcamps here, bootcamps there, whatever that was free. So it was a very slow journey. If anyone can just like actually pay themselves like a bootcamp, some sort of thing, that's the smartest way. They would shorten their way so much more. I think I should have. But I'm a different kind of learner.
That's really good advice, and I think your journey is very valuable to other people, like hearing about this sort of thing. So it sounds like you would recommend people going to as many events as possible.
Yes.
The value of live events in getting involved
It's this.
is this.
Right? It's like all of a sudden I get to talk to a lot of different projects, and you can say, I don't understand. And then they go over it again. Like, people are so kind, and they're there in the booth trying to make you understand what they're actually doing. So you meet a lot of people that afterwards become friends, and that actually open up doors. So networking is actually what I think has brought me all the way here. Even though I'm not the most knowledgeable of all my peers, I have a little bit of everyone's knowledge, and I have references to so many just because I had interactions in real life events, which, because of my nature of being a saleswoman since forever, basically it's the way not only that I learn, that I connect, and that I find the most value in, I guess.
Yeah, totally. There's this value of community, and that comes from live events and putting yourself out there. I think it's interesting that like we're talking about live events, in-person things, and everyone is so like helpful and kind, and they will help you to understand it. This is not what happens on the internet.
No, not at all. And first of all, you gotta know, like, you gotta go through that path alone as well. Like,
Right.
I admire a lot the people that teach themselves, that are like self-taught, because going through the internet and trying to ask questions through Discord can be very weird.
Yeah.
I find it so impersonal, but it works. It works for a lot of people, and it definitely is an incredible tool, whatever that you can use that allows you to have a name in the space, even though people have no idea how you look like. Again, a new thing, and a good thing, right? You can make yourself a reputation, and you can learn a lot, and you can have a big presence, even though you're not in real life events. So it's like there's a space for everyone. For the ones who have different kinds of interests, there's a way that you can actually interact and be a part of, again, the community. So.
Yeah, it's huge. It really is. You can participate online, especially if you're a developer. You can learn about these things, you can understand them, and you can start building your own stuff. If you're not a developer, going into a Discord channel for any of these is very intimidating. It's full of traders and trolls and engineers that aren't really willing to spend time with you. I think even Satoshi said that if you don't understand it, I don't have time to explain it to you.
Which is horrible.
It is. It absolutely is.
It's so mean, honestly.
Yeah. It's like, what the fuck,
Yeah,
man?
yeah. It's like, thank you for leaving me outside.
Yeah.
No problem. Fuck.
Yeah, and this is what we're talking about with growing communities, is not leaving people outside. So when you're a part of the community, it's very important that you're welcoming to newcomers.
Totally.
That we talk to each other. We create opportunities to hear their story and to listen.
It's like what you're doing right now. Like, this is incredible. Having the opportunity of like being interviewed, if just to tell your story, it really is amazing. Like that you are giving the space and the opportunity to listen to people that, yeah, I'm not a founder of this incredible like protocol that is whatever. I'm just like another human telling her story, hoping that someone can go, I resonate with her, and then maybe help them through this to keep on in this journey and, push themselves to one more day. This is incredible what you're doing. I really thank you, honestly.
Thank you.
This is a great experience for
That's
me.
so good to hear.
Yes.
It's really great to hear. And now I'm all flattered and I can't think of my question that I had in my head. So you've been to a lot of events over the last 4 years, a lot of blockchain events,
Yes.
Cryptocurrency in general,
Yes.
that sort of thing. Which was your favorite event?
Oof.
Or top 3 if that's a little easier.
I guess. Okay, so DevConnect in Turkey was the place that I met the founders of the last DeepM project that I was working in, and that was like very meaningful. Of becoming someone like with more presence in the space. But the truth is, and that's because of on a personal level, my career jumped there from working from working in Giveth to working in WeatherXM. That was a very nice transition. So from a DAO, from this incredible project that is like crypto donations, right? To a DeepM project that is infrastructure for the creation of weather stations. That was major for me, and I learned so much throughout that event itself, and then what came afterwards. But the really incredible one as an event was Thailand last year.
Just last year.
See, definitely.
Why?
I guess what impacted me the most was the capacity of coordination between so many organizations, and everything was spectacular. The food was spectacular. The conferences were incredible. Like the scenery, the building itself. Like Ethereum Foundation did like the most incredible job ever. Honestly, that's been like the most impactful as an event itself. Wow, the capacity that they have. Of course, they have the funding, but honestly, it was super interesting, super fun. It was they had an audience, a different kind of audiences, but they were able to talk to each one of them, right, with the curation of the event itself. And then I got to fly to Asia, and I've never been there, so I stayed there for some months, just traveling. That was really incredible. So I guess those two.
That's really awesome.
Yes.
That's really cool. And now you mentioned that, like, yeah, the Ethereum Foundation has money.
Yes.
But this is clearly not only about money.
No.
And what we're talking about here is actually about like the skills of the event organizers, of the community builders, the community coordinators, these people who aren't necessarily developers.
Yes.
And like that's like we were talking about bringing people into the community and the importance of having different perspectives and different viewpoints and different skill sets. And the one that seems to be the most impactful for you is like the people who are actually organizing these events and making them so amazing and welcoming
Yeah.
for you.
How do they create so much? Like this is a lot of artists, right? A lot of people that are in, like more administrative. A lot of people are more organizing, but they're all working towards one same goal, and they can make such a huge impact in people's lives, right? Because you come out of there with an experience, not just like a crypto event where you go and you just get some swag and you just, or it's not just a party that, yeah, we had a great time and then just like, who sponsored it? I don't know, like some dudes that whatever. No, this became like a real experience. And I think like the whole point of it is that you allow people to live with the feeling and the knowledge of having spent an incredible time that you will remember forever because of the connections that you made within and with other people. What blew your mind? And then you find yourself in completely interesting places. So
Awesome.
see.
Yeah, really cool. So now we're here at Berlin Blockchain Week, where I mean, Funding the Commons is a part of the Berlin Blockchain Week. 300 events or something like that.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
I think it's until the 22nd.
Yeah, it is. There's all sorts of things. There's like a rave happening on like the 20th or 22nd or something.
22nd.
I think so. Yeah, it must be the end, the finishing party.
We definitely have to go and meet there again.
I'm in.
Yes.
Yeah, totally. So what else are you looking forward to in Berlin Blockchain Week?
Honestly, I just want to know what's happening with the intersection between AI and blockchain. It's really resonating. It's everywhere,
Yeah.
and a lot of things are getting born from there. And I believe, honestly, that AI is going to bring in way more adoption and easier. There's a broader usage for AI. That's for sure. Honestly, AI can be used in anything, everywhere, any single thing, little thing, max thing. Blockchain, not so much. So it's not. It doesn't have to be present in everything. That's the truth. So how can we make that happen so that we still have the beautiful things that it brings, which is like the transparency, right? Like interoperability, the decentralization, all these ideas that are so important into creating mechanisms where we create AI with the human mind, heart first, right? Like, that's what I'm trying to do. I want to see what Europe has to say about that, because I just come from spending time in San Francisco, and that was like kind of the main topic, right? AI was there. So being not in America but being in Europe, what's the vision that they have towards these new emergent technologies? That's
That's
what I
awesome.
say. Let's
Yeah.
hear what they have to say. I don't know.
I would love to know. Like, also, like, as I never even thought about, you're talking about AI isn't everything.
Yes.
And there is definitely a need for to put humans first. The way that you put it, to focus on the heart, which is not a part of a machine.
How do we craft it, right? Like, how do you feed the AI with the right set of values, which is a hard one because they shift, right? I have different values than you, but there are some that are core. So how do we ensure that human preservation values are met into this creation of languages or emerging technologies, especially with AI being at the edge of exploding every single industry?
Yeah. Earlier you mentioned at the hackathon that you went to, it was like, and this is a common problem for blockchain. It's like, we have a solution. Show us your problem.
Yeah. It's like, how are they going to use it? I think it has to go the other way. It's, how do we actually start building towards what people need, and not just because you want to build something? That intersection, it's important. Let's build more in real world assets. I would love to see that. I think we need more deep in projects as well. Infrastructure that normies, that regular people, all of us, even all
right?
of us can actually use. That's what I would love to see. when I first heard about the word deepen and then they explained to me what it was, I was like, oh my God, this is it. This is what really resonates with me and most likely everyone. You want to have something that you actually use. And then blockchain makes sense, right? They're not just thinking about meme coins or scams.
Right. Tell me about Deepen. As if I know nothing about it.
All right. So decentralized physical infrastructure, right? Basically, you're creating not only software, but now hardware that actually has a shift in your daily life because it's using blockchain as well as providing you with any other service. From what I used to do, which was like weather infrastructure, super needed, especially in Mexico, honestly.
Right,
You take a look at the weather and it's like, it's going to be rainy. And then it's like sunny as right now. It's like non-reliable. And, or maybe sharing Wi-Fi or having, this shared network of Wi-Fi. All these physical things, right, that actually you can use in your daily life. And you don't know that they use blockchain for one purpose or another. Either for storing maybe data and the way that it's distributed or the way that it's analyzed. And then other companies can actually benefit from that, as well as you are. In these projects is very incentivized the use of their hardware within the community itself, because the more community uses it, the better the token gets, right? So they incentivize the use and the distribution of their physical infrastructure by remunerating, how do you say, like by giving back to the community in the form of their own token, which makes sense, right?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, absolutely. This is fascinating. Like, I'm really, really glad that you came by.
Oh, thanks.
And that we had this opportunity to chat. It's been great.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, totally. But I want to talk about, let's talk a little bit more about Funding the Commons.
Yes.
Since we're here, we're in the second day
Yes.
of this event, which is the Berlin Forum.
Yeah.
And it's the first forum that you're all trying out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was that process like in creating this? First of all, I want to start with, how would you describe this vibe?
I was going to say amazing, and then I was going to say cool, and then I was going to say, intertwining.
Okay.
I guess I can find many words of how I felt throughout the day, but the whole vibe of the community itself, I think it's incredible, because what we were trying to do as a forum is to give space to conversations like this one within everyone. So leaving on the side the type of summit that we're used to, which is some panel and then you're listening, and even though everyone has incredible things to say, it's your third talk and you just want to, honestly, your brain is shut, right?
Right.
Too much information, it gets very tiring. And then people that have incredible things to say, maybe they don't get the audience that they could because the audience is tired and they want to go and have a snack, right? So it's you miss a lot of the feedback as well that the people can give and can share, or the intersections of how can we build on top of what you're doing? I'm doing something kind of the same. You don't get the opportunity of doing that unless you're networking outside or near the food. But then you have to introduce yourself over and over, right? This is who I am. This is what I do. What if you could have little spaces that you can choose from, giving your interests and actually participating into those talks? So I guess that's the whole point of maybe creating this forum, giving the space to everyone to co-create, to be a part of conversations with the subject that you are actually interested in. And I think it worked pretty well. I don't know. What do you think? What's your
I absolutely
experience?
do.
Or you've been here all the time?
No, I haven't been here all the time.
Cool.
I've been running around. We had some of our crew was downstairs filming some of the lightning talks.
Yes.
And so I'll go down and I'll check and see what's going on down there. The art stuff is incredible. The artists, the charcoal drawings of forgotten places that you can't return to is just incredible. It's amazing. The vibe here, it's very festival kind of vibe,
See,
which
you're
I
right.
love. And it's a small place, so it's like an intimate festival. And I think it's incredible that this was designed and deployed in such a short period of time. So
Thanks.
really great job to all of the Funding the Commons team.
They are great. Honestly, the team curates everything with such a detail and heart that I think that's why a lot of people comes back to every single event. I think it's because we're always trying to live up to our name and to try to level up the experience itself. And yeah, honestly, the design of everything from the curation of the speakers, of the audience, the colors, the design that they put in everything, in every little thing, and the operations itself. So everyone, the communications, our founders. So honestly, a shout out to everyone like Anna, Teresa, Beth, Danny, Kim with all the marketing, and David, our founder. Like everyone is so incredible. I really admire everyone, honestly.
That's so good to hear. Someone who's on the team and having such admiration and respect for the rest of the team. And I think that is tangible in events like this, where the crew behind organizing it has a real passion, not just for the content, but for each other and for the community, which is what you've clearly displayed, a passion for community and for this community.
I love my peers. That's the main reason why I work for Funding the Commons. I was like, I want to work with them. I like everyone in the team. I want to be a part of that. And most of us, it's more than, I don't know, I think 80% of the staff is female. So that's very encouraging as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I could see how that would be. You were talking about the intimidation of coming into this developer-heavy industry and dude-heavy industry.
Yeah.
I could see how that would be very intimidating. And now you've found a place where you feel like you belong and you can help others feel like they belong.
Yes.
I think that's really, really cool.
Yes, that's what I'm looking for. I'm hoping that we're actually getting there. Hopefully that's what we're doing, or me at least. Mm-hmm. So if you ever see me around there and you have someone new, it'd be incredible if you can introduce me to them. You can always know that if I'm around, even though, whatever that I can do and share, I will.
That's super cool. That's really awesome that you're so open to this and to helping people. And so before we wrap up,
Yes.
I would like people at home to know how to follow Funding the Commons. How do they look for future events? If they missed out on this incredible scene at this forum, where do they make sure they don't miss the next one?
Okay, so we're going to have, fundingthecommons.io. That's our website. That's where you're going to find everything. However, we have a Telegram group as well. We have an X account. You can find us at fundingthecommons.xyz. We might have to edit that.
Yeah, that's fine. We can just bleep it out as if you cursed and then put subtitles up.
Okay, I like that. But basically, all of our communications and everything you can find in our website. And soon we're going to announce our hackathon that is going to be online in August. We still don't have the specific date. That's why I'm not sharing that. But please be very, on point into our conversations and our different channels so that you can all apply to it. And basically, then we're definitely going to Argentina, where we're going to have a residency, which is one of the things that we create that I'm most excited about. What comes out of residencies is so incredible. And really excited about what's going to happen into the next one. And most likely we're going to have another conference or forum or unconference or something. We still don't know in Argentina as well. So 3 really big things coming up. One in August and the other ones are going to be beginning of October, maybe something like that. But yeah, stay tuned.
Yeah, awesome. This is so cool. The hackathon in August is remote then?
It's
People can do
remote.
it from home and join with their team?
Yes.
Is Funding the Commons a global team?
Yes.
Or is it, okay, you're
Yeah.
not all based here in
No,
Berlin?
not at all.
Okay.
So Some of us are in Mexico, some are in Guatemala, Colombia, Francia, France, the United States, all over different places. So
Cool.
we're encouraging that type of communication as well. And that's why our hackathon is going to be 100% online. Last year was hybrid. Could happen this time as well. But what we want is to welcome everyone that is not able to have the privilege of maybe flying into the big conferences and be a part of a hackathon that has a purpose.
That's so important.
Yes.
So important. And you personally, how do people find out what you're up to? Do you have public profiles that
Sure.
you can share with us?
Sure, thank you. So my X account is Mayeli Amore, Mayeli Amore. And my handle is Maje Amore, Mayei Amore. You can find me over there. Follow me. It'd be incredible to keep in touch. I love more like the one-on-one conversations, and that's why I mainly use Telegram for all my conversations. Super happy to be friends and to interact throughout the next few years.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Maji, I'm going to follow you. We will be in touch.
Thanks.
Thank you for joining us here.
Thank you
This is
for
really
having
great, and I hope we have the opportunity to talk again soon in the future.
Definitely. And we have a rave to assist anyway.
We do. We have a rave.
We have a rave.
Yeah.
So it's a date.
Yeah, there we go. The 22nd, right?
I think so.
Okay, let's
But we'll
double
keep in
check that.
touch. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks again.
Thank you.